Guyana and Guyanese, at home and abroad. Tune in to Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, we rise up early morning, watching TV, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, exposing corruption over land, where the wicked politicians they try to trick. Guyana is a land for everybody, with six ways to live in harmony. This one set of people getting I'll more. This one set of people do the tea for me. Guyanese morning time, the people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, this is a program that you all can see. Sharing your food and your integrity. Like it, comment, and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbors, safe and done. A situation going on in this town. Device of the people it trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, with jackals ordained to sing. I say, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge from the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge from the front line. We go again, fooling the people. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You are a people. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. I say, Guyanese morning time. People calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge from the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. People calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge from the front line. We go again, it's a great word for market shop. David and Takadaki Amsterdam, Sherrod Duncan, Nigel London, Normal Brown and David Matthews, big up Pastor Poor People Babana, Simona Brooks, Robin Simpson, Hampton Green and Winston Jordan, and yes, we can go right on. Morning time, people calling Guyanese morning time, rhythm, Guyanese morning time, intelligent knowledge from the front line, we go again, Guyanese morning time, people calling Guyanese morning time, rhythm, Guyanese morning time, intelligent knowledge.
Hello. Good morning.
Over in Boston, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives, and friends of Peter Headley, they deserve justice. And so when we say that Guyana is an apartheid state, we have the evidence to show.
Hello, darling.
All right, so you might be wondering where we are. Still in Buxton at Club Twilight. That's where we are. So Club Twilight also has like an Airbnb as well. So you could come, drink, drunk, and come in the back here and lie down. Look at that. Look at that. Perfection. And the people come in the room and so on. The bed sheet matching the blind, matching the carpet, matching the this, matching the that. We know what we things in Buxton don't play with we. So definitely if you want to come and you may be having a wedding or whatever and you just want to overnight and just have a good time because you're going to be drunk. We got too much road accidents. So you definitely want to come drink, have a good time. They have several rooms that you can rent. You have your toilet, you have your bath, you have your sink, you have your dining area, you have the bed. This is nice. I like it. Anyways, to my friends and my family, if you're looking for me, I'll be overnighting. Also for those persons who are traveling in from overseas, you want a nice, cozy place out of town, then Club Twilight, call them up, look them up on social media. They have their own Facebook page, and ensure that you come up the side and have a good time. Have a good time. Have a good time. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's it.
The great Atlantic going to a pure, I want to serve my country. Guyana, beautiful, happy, and free. Guyana, let's cooperate with our government to help develop Guyana the free. Together, my comrades, we will build a brand new Guyana, a country where all are equal opportunity. So let us begin now to show loyalty to Guyana by showing love and respect for all Guyanese.
My brothers, my sisters, we will live and die here together. On to one people, one nation, one destiny. For harmonious living, cooperation will be forever. In work and play as we live a strong Guyanese.
Guyana, I want to serve my country. Guyana, beautiful, happy, and free. Guyana, let's cooperate with our government to help develop Guyana the free.
Well, it's time we settle all the racials in the interior. Our natural resources are there in great quantity. And we will do farming and establish towns by the border. With global food so we could fill all Guyanese.
My greatest desire is to serve my country, Guyana, and sincerely help Guyana to move along. Our government asked us, and we study hard and we learn the things that will help Guyana to become strong. Guyana, I want to serve my country. Guyana, beautiful, happy, and free. Guyana, let's cooperate with our government to help develop Guyana the free. To help develop Guyana the free.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop located in the East Rheinveld Market Meat Section. Call us on 609-7168, 641-4494. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris Butcher Shop for the best in fresh cut meats and lots more.
Are you looking for tents to rent? Well, look no further. At Easy Party Rentals, Sideline and Buxton North, we have tents in all sizes and colors. All sizes of tents we have. Small tents, big tents, medium tents, extra large tents. Call us on 622-5933. We have what you need. Easy Party Rentals. Big on tents. Are you hosting an event? Do you need ice, party ice in large or small quantities? Then call us at 622-5933 for the best party ice available. $1,000 per bag. We do delivery. EC Crystals, Sideline Dam, Buxton North. Call to have your orders filled today.
Stop the music.
I don't think I can go on. Oh, I've just found out the girl I love has gone. So I'm begging, bring the curtain down. I can't go on. Bring the curtain down. I can't go on. Stop! Stop the music. Please don't play that song. Oh, I've lost the girl that gave me confidence for so long. So I'm begging, bring the curtain down. I can't go on. Bring the curtain down. I can't go on. Oh, where are you, baby? Yeah. People out there are waiting for a show, but without her near, I'd be a flop, I know. The critics will tell how I stood there and cried. The hurt that I feel, I just can't hide. Bring the curtain down, I can't go on. Bring the curtain down, I can't go on. Stop the music, don't play it no more, no, no. Bring it on down, I can't go on without you, baby. Oh, where are you, darling? Bring it on down, bring it on down. I can't go on without you. Oh, I need you so bad, yeah. Bring it on down, bring the curtain down. Bring it on down. What would I give for just a few moments? What would I give just to have you near? Tell me you will try to slip away somehow. Oh, I need you, darling. I want to see you right now. Can you slip away? Slip away. Slip away. Yeah. Oh, I need you so. Love, oh love. How sweet it is when you're still it, darling. Let me tell you something now. How sweet it is. Now I know it's wrong, the things I ask you to do, but please believe me, darling, I don't mean to hurt you. But could you just slip away without him knowing you're gone? Then we could meet somewhere where we're both are not known. And just can you slip away? Slip away. Slip away, yeah. I need you so. Oh, can you slip away, baby? I'd like to see you right now, darling. Can you slip away now, baby? 'Cause I got to see you. I feel a deep burning inside.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out.
tears. I'm crying, crying, crying. We can't go on together with suspicious minds. And we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. Oh, let love survive. I'll dry the tears from your eyes. Don't let a good thing die. 'Cause honey, you know I'll never lie to you. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby.
I've been loving you too long.
Morning. Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. Good morning to my supporters, my encouragers, my influencers, and even my haters. I smile because I remember that one. Yaga walk it out. Yaga know where the one came from. But it's somebody who said that a while ago. In fact, they were saying thank you to those who inspired them and encouraged them and so on. And thank you to even the haters, because the haters too inspire you too, you know. Yeah, when you know you got haters, you just be inspired. You just want to ensure that they don't succeed in their hatred. And so you want to ensure you do everything possible so that you could succeed. Because your failure will give them pleasure. Hey, morning, are you morning? Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. How have you been? How was you yesterday? How was you last night? How are you feeling this morning? What's on your mind this morning? How much have you been able to achieve so far? It's the 11th month of the year, you know. As a matter of fact, it's almost the 12th. It's the 12th day of the 11th month. So we're just almost middle of November. I am sure around this time is when they start playing carols and so on. Around the 15th of November, they start caroling and all of that. So one can argue that you are in the Christmas season already. But what have you been able to achieve from then to now? From the beginning of the year to now, what have you been able to achieve? Are you satisfied that you've made good ground, as we like to say, from January to November 12th? Are you contented? Do you have to play catch up? Are you now running breathless to catch the end of the year? Are you desperately trying this and trying that to see what you can accomplish by the end of the year? If you are in that state, I am sorry that you're in that state. I wish you would have been in a better state. But keep on keeping on. Don't give up. Do not give up. As I usually say, it's okay to fall. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to trip. But it's never okay to give up. If you fall down, get up. Even if you have to crawl on your knees, even if you have to crawl on all fours to get to the end, to get to the finishing line, do that. Don't give up. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, Empowerment Wednesday. And I'm happy that it is Empowerment Wednesday because we get to continue that conversation which we started yesterday about fighting back and fighting differently and empowerment, especially for our young people. You know, I like to focus on our young people. I like to message for our young people and hope that the elders, the geriatrics like myself, will take those messages and be a channel for those messages and get them to the young people, especially the young people around them, the young people who they have an influence over, the young people who they are in contact with and so on. Because it's a just dumb world. A lot of us elders don't understand that it suggests don't work, or we don't want to accept and acknowledge that it suggests don't work. The things I could have done at 16, I did not try now. But I will look at another, I will look at a 16-year-old doing that and more and marvel at how they're capable of doing it. Right? And I'm sure one of my elder, when I was 16, was having the same moment, marveling at what a 16-year-old can do as against a 60-year-old, and in many instances reminiscing. By when I was 16, I used to do all them things, you know. When I was 16, I used to go nights and days without sleep, without rest. Especially when you see it come around to July 31st, the week of July 15th, going into the end of the month and into the 1st of August. Many sleepless weeks, days and nights, we used to be on it, preparing for the 1st of August, emancipation celebrations, and so on. As it got closer to July, month end there is lectures upon lectures, symposium, you know, this and that and the other. And so you just dip on it. Some cases 24/7. But you tell me, try to know. You want I dead? You I dead? If I try to go one night without sleep, I'm miserable bad. And those who are close to me know when I want to sleep, I want to sleep. I'm miserable bad. Right? So it's a dressed-down world. And we have to recognize that it's a dressed-down world. What we have to be prepared to do as elders, as geriatrics, is package the knowledge, the understanding, the wisdom, the experience which we have gathered through our years, through our journey. Package it in a way that is attractive to the youths, the next generation, and deliver it to them. And I say package it in a way that's attractive because messaging is important and packaging is important. We can have the best message for the youths. We can have the best intentions for them. But if we do not approach the delivery of those messages, if we do not approach the way we provide the guidance carefully, then we lose them. Because instead of building a bridge, we'll be creating wedges between us. Right? And so it's important that we not only recognize that we got experience, and we got knowledge, and we got wisdom, and we got more understanding than them, and we know more than them. We get more than a first grade education. We get first class education, right? And so on and so forth. We recognize it's more than what we have to give, but we have to recognize in giving the importance of giving and how we are giving. Can't be pompous and condescending in your giving, right? Jiva Conway, the next time you come on my program and call me Dr. Love, we can get around. Please don't do it. The man is a crass. Dr. Love Prasad, the man is a self-hater. Don't do it to me. Call me anything else. And I prefer to be called the Buxtonian. Trust me. I love that title, the Buxtonian. Okay, Jiva, we got solid. We solid anyway, right? Good. GC. But y'all don't do that to me. Don't associate me with some people. Somebody messaged me the other day asking me, who is this man? I think he was cussing David Hines. But he was cussing David Hines. Professor David Hines. Professor David Hines. With his fake doctor title, right? Dr. Love. Everybody picking up doctor around this place. Yes. So we have to be careful. We have to be mindful of how we convey information and guidance and so on to our young people. Very mindful. Lest we lose them. I always keep in mind this thing we call generation gap. And you know, as an educator, as a social studies teacher back then and so on,
the varying concepts you get to investigate and deliver to youths and so on. And at the same time, the more you teach, you learn. So I always remember the generation gap. It doesn't have to exist, you know, or it doesn't have to be as traumatic as it is. Old people and young people can't get along. Old people and young people could get along. But each has to recognize boundaries, and each has to recognize differences in opinion. Each has to show respect for each other's position. Then arrest your old self, you there done, you time done. Are you young people is a generation of vipers? Yes, we just like you when you're young. You think I hear your dirty story? Right? And so instead of you having teachable moments, all you're doing is cussing out and pulling down each other. Right? And so the knowledge that granny and your grandparents and your full parents and so really can share with you to make you a better person in your era is not shared because of the arrogance and the aggressiveness. The arrogance and the aggressiveness, a barrier is built, a Trumpian wall is built. So I can't hear you, you can't hear me. I can't see you and you can't see me, point of views. And so we live in enmity in the same house or in the same compound. I deliberately say compound because us African, we're supposed to be living in compounds. The extended family, we're supposed to be living in compound. And when we recognize the importance of living in compound, I think we're going to address a lot of our economic issues. Right? A lot of our economic issues can be addressed if we only think about living in compounds. Trust me. This thing with the nuclear family, remember the Empowerment Wednesday. I hope you are getting the bits and bytes I'm sure. This thing with the nuclear family, father, mother, and child living away from the extended family has done a lot of harm to us as a people and will continue to do harm to us as a people. And a lot of us see it as progressive. A lot of us see it as, empowerment. But when you sit back and you really analyze it, you really ask yourself, how empowering is it? How progressive is it? Picture the parent educating the child to get a fancy government job as they term it. And up to now, I can't understand how people see government job as the thing. Up to now, I can't see how people see being employed by others as the thing. Good? I see being employed by others as a stepping stone to raising and acquiring capital so that you can employ others. That's how I see it. I'm being very honest with you. But everybody doesn't see life the same way, and everybody doesn't have the same fortune, or outlook or determination. Because sometimes it's more outlook and determination, mindset, than it is access. Right? But we have become a people who educate our children to serve others. And usually when we serve others, they're the ones who are enriched. And we are stuck. Typical case, like I said, public service, servants. Private sector, we serve others with our skills, with our know, and they decide how much we get paid for that. And we watch daily as they move from height to height, from riches to riches. And we are stuck for the greater part because they determine how much we get paid for our services. They determine how much we get paid for our knowledge. And they also determine how much they get paid from our services and our knowledge. It's not even 50-50. And so we educate our children to go serve others. Because if you get a white-collar job, you're the it. You have arrived. Oh gosh, my son is a manager in the bank. My daughter is a bank teller. An overrated counter attendant. I'm not disrespecting your job, but I'm telling you how I see it. Right? I'm telling you how I see it so that you perhaps can look at it from a similar point of view. And so that you make efforts to change it. Good. So, customer service. You know, you could operate a family business with the same professionalism and the same attitude that you work with for the bank. And your business could be a success model because customer service is way lacking in this country. If you're a bank teller, if you're a service rep in any business or so, they insist to a large extent that you treat your customer with care. You're supposed to treat your customer with care, the client with care. So why don't you establish a small business and treat your client with care? Yeah. See what I mean? Pretty Chef is telling us bank tellers, that's the high schoolers in the US. Yeah. That's in the US. That's the breadwinners in Guyana. Our breadwinners are doing it. And they have no choice but to do it. At least some of them will think. So here it is, you educate your child for them to go and get a white-collar job, maybe blue-collar in some instances. But you got 20 acres of land in your back farm, in your backland, in the back of the village. Your family owns 20 acres of land in the back of your village. You as a patriarch used to plant the 20 acres of land when you were 16 and 20 and 25. And you provided for your family that you educated to go and work in the bank. Or to go and work for private sector. And all that you provided for them, food, clothing, and shelter, plus education, came from you working the 20-acre land when you had the ability. But instead of you educating them to improve on the productive capacity of the 20 acres of land that you've been working, back-breaking work to provide for them, you educate them for going to use the brain power to empower another man. And in so educating them, you educated them to abandon what you used to empower them, what you used to empower yourself, and what can empower them and the next generation. I hope the argument is not too convoluted. I hope you're seeing what I'm saying. Because when we educate our children to move away from that which we created wealth from, or we created existence from, in short, they're abandoning it. Look in African Guyanese communities. Look at the back of our communities. See how many families have land. almost every family in the village is supposed to get land, except if you come from out of the village and you come and live in the village. Because Buxton, for example, when the formerly enslaved bought Buxton, it was divided up into sections. If you had a lot in A, you had a lot in B, you had a lot in C, you had a lot in the farmland. As we like to say, every mother lot get a child on the back. And so you go in Buxton back down, you're going to see what we call banded. You know them old people like chop up the word. Banded is really abandoned lands. Abandoned lands because the younger generation turned their backs on the lands and they went into service provision. They went into service provision. I want to be a post boy, I want to be a post girl. Have you ever heard anybody say post woman? He's always a post boy and a post girl. Then growing up. Listen, sometimes I sound lighthearted about these things, but I hope you are seeing the nuggets in them. Hear me. When we educate our children and they go and become bank tellers and postwoman and public servant and police and soldier, and working in the private sectors, customer service rep, and waiter and waitresses and so on in the fast food giants and so. They're employed in slave hours. They are employed in slave hours. They go to work for it and they knock off at 5 or 4. And the rest of the time is spent getting back to their home, which they usually do by dark. And the rest of their working hours after that is spent going back to the plantation, which is the public service or wherever. Hardly any time whatsoever to invest in personal productive activity. Let me call him that. Right? Personal productive activity. Let me call it that. So we ain't getting time to go and tend to the land. We ain't getting time to go and uproot weeds. We ain't getting time to go and what we call the thing. Not only till the land. We ain't getting time to, it has gone tickle up the earth wrong the plant root and thing. We got a word for it. We ain't getting time to go and do mulching and so on. And so year by year, the production is getting weaker. Production is reducing because his old man, Papi alone, therefore go and tend to the land. By the time you walk 20 miles and reach it, you ready for sit down, catch your breath and walk back all the 20 miles. He can't do much on the farm. And over time, old man, Papi can't go to the farm. And his children who got the strength to go to the farm are going to somebody else's farm in the terms of some office work. And eventually land becomes banded, abandoned, and it is left there. Your source of wealth is neglected for mere subsistence, eking out a living in somebody else's backyard, farmland. And I'm using farmland here figuratively. Whereas if we live in compounds, don't think I have topic, whereas if we live in compounds, and we adopt the cooperative spirit, we're going to build and we're going to build faster. I go up here, old people say, and I used to cuss, picnic riches. Have you ever heard that term, picnic riches? I allow me, I'm a bank book them that picnic riches. I used to cuss. Look at this woman. This woman lives in poverty. This family lives in poverty. And they're attacking every 2 months, she belly in the air and she talk about picnic riches. But as I grew older and wiser and I read wider, I start understanding I don't know if this is the way in which they use it. But I came to realize, speaking of riches, I would like to watch African moods and say, you see, the African man and woman lives in compounds. Let me just call it ancient Africa so you get the message. The main source of income was crop production. And so the more hands you had to work on the farm, the more you can produce, and so the more you can earn, and so the wealthier you can be. So the more picnic you get, the more work you could do on the farm as a family unit, and the more you could produce, and so the more you could earn, and the more money you can get. Picnic riches. That is the understanding I got from examining the concept. Children are productive units, but they will only lead to enrichment if they are managed properly. But what we do with our productive units, we send them to be productive for other people. We're not keeping them where they rightly should be to produce for us. And so they move away from the home because in modernity, oh God, the transportation is trouble. Traveling down from Buxton to Georgetown every morning and back in the evening, that thing is a killer. I'm looking for a little apartment for rent in Georgetown. So I find a boyfriend, a girlfriend. We link up. We live home, we shop up. We rent an apartment, sometimes a single room. Like the prodigal son. We left with mansions. We're going to live in the skies. And so on and so forth. And we now pay rent in Georgetown. But most importantly, we left them old people alone back home. Farmland abandoned. Them old people must be barely surviving after the pension. Sometimes you could barely send something home for them on weekends, depending on how much your slave owner paying you. Time passes, eventually they get a child that you now start paying a babysitter to look after, or now start sending to daycare. Whereas, if you had stayed home on the plantation, if you had stayed home in the compound, if all I had is stay home in the compound, mommy now turned granny, had something to do. She now babysitting she grandchild. Auntie babysitting nieces and nephews. Uncle by his very actions teaching them by his things. Auntie by her very actions teaching them girls things. Uncles, where you building there? I'm building a bench. Uncles, where you got under? This is a saw. Uncles, how you got a thing for looks so good? This is how you just do it. And so your offspring, your next generation, they're learning things. Because there's so many people in the compound that they can learn things. And in time to come, they're going to use the same little knowledge to earn a living, to earn a keeps, to maintain the family compound, to become meaningful contributors to society. But no, we are modern man. We are move away from we compounds. We are beat out. I'm going to shack up somewhere. And the funny thing is in shacking up nowadays is the boy guy and shack up by the girl. Not the boy finding some way for the girl shack up with you, you know. How empowering is that? How empowering is that? How many of us have these conversations with our children about their approach to life and living? But we have fight the system because the system is unfair to us. Do we just run out there with pickets and machetes and arms and ammunition in our bodies and fight? We have to fight wisely. If we can't feed ourselves, how are we going to live for fight? When we start fighting, the people decide they ain't going to provide food for us. We're going to eventually get weak from hunger. And then the enemy makes it easier to defeat us. And again, I'm talking figuratively here. But let me give you a practical example. The indomitable fighting spirit of Buxtonians is lost. Tell him I say so. The generations of Buxtonians that used to fight has dwindled. Because the generation that really used to fight in Buxton were to a large extent independent and self-sufficient. At least when I was growing up, I knew them. They had cash crop farms, they had long-term crops in the back of the back dam. My father had a cash crop farm or 2 sets of land, 3 sets of land, I think that he used to do cash crop on. Cassava, I think, is a 6-month crop. I can't remember. But he had one he used to plant strictly cassava. Of course, he'll dash in and a road sugar, drain can and so. But he had 2 that he used to plant things like kalulu and boro and oko and so on and so forth. Chocolate sweet potato and so on and so forth. And then he had cane farming. And on the cane plots, you always find a mango tree or 4 and some coconuts and so on. So you had things that you could have turned to live every day. Me growing up in Buxton around the 80s, them money used to left Buxton back side, and some of them used to left front side too, and going by Marcus Walk and pick a bag of coconut and carry it and sell it to Tiny. Who else used to buy coconut in them days? I know Bakar and Jake Kenyatta used to transport them to Bodo Market. But I remember Tiny used to buy coconut. Can't remember who else used to buy coconut. This lady, I think, used to buy coconut too. What was she named by? Not Roro. She live on Roro area. I'm not Johnny, their mother. Whatever she named, man, I can't remember she name. Many boxing people there on here know she haven't tell me. But the man used to go and pick a bag of coconut or pick up dry coconuts and come and sell to these people. And they can take that money and go and buy things and cook and eat. Or in some instances, them what this money used to go and gamble. Right? But I'm using that to show you that there were things in the communities to sustain you if you decided that you're going to fight. If you decide you're going to fight, there are things to sustain you. We could have fight and we could have fight for long because we had sustenance. Leon Saddle Banner, I ain't debating whether it's 6 or 12 months. I can't remember. That is why I said I think. I know planting is 11 months or thereabout. Planting and bananas in them. Right? I can't remember the time for cassava. Right? But I'm sure you get the point. But that generation that went to the farmlands and continuously produced, and therefore some of them used to work with their state. When the state got out of crop, they got things to sell from the cash crop garden and all of that. That generation has dwindled. Because like I said, we empower children to go and work on other people's farms. And so this is what the other people did to us. Oh, y'all boxing people big and bad and strong, y'all stop training, so, and y'all resistant. We're going to show you always resistance. We ain't going to imply y'all. Are you not abandon our farmlands, you know, apart from the fact that Robert Prasad had grade on all them long-term crops in boxing bagam and so? So you're having a long-term crop now, you're getting going to pick coconut and mango and sell and so it ain't easy to come by. And you're planting short-term crop now, so you can't even feed yourself. As the Jamaican artist say, me no shit them can yam. And so the people start taking the attitude, if how these no shit like these can yam, if we don't employ y'all, you can't eat. And we're not going to employ y'all if y'all are a resistant set of people. So for years, boxing people couldn't get no work anyway. Boxing people had to change their address if they want to get work anyway, whether public sector or private sector. And instead of returning to the farmlands, instead of going back to your compounds, a lot of us sat and we moped and so on. And then the drug dealers start coming and say, I got a hustle for you. You be a bag man. Move this bag from here to there for me. You take up this scanner and you going to control this scanner for me. Because Uncle Tom controlling me and I controlling you. So drugs start infiltrating the community, and every corner in boxing turn you might see a sweetie step. And Bano, if you're resistant to the PPP, I can't deal with you because the PPP does give me coverage. So you can't get a bite off of this hustle. And say, you notice what the people do? They starve the resistance out to you. So you're fighting, you can't fight. You can't fight. Because if you go there to fight by joining a protest, and the boss man and your boss man see you, then your boss man gonna fire you. And you don't want to get fired because it's the only way you know for you to food. So why you think we can't fight? Or why you think the fight has been taken out of most of us? Because we give up our source of empowerment, our source of strength, our shield, our armor. We take it off. We're going to put on somebody else soon. Not too late. We geriatrics could sit our children down and talk with them. I still believe so. We ain't gotta be aggressive to each other. Right? We ain't gotta be aggressive to each other at all. We just gotta be self-loving, self-serving, and so on. Let's take a musical break and I'm coming back. My music is always intertwined in my program.
I know, baby, I'm the last one on your list. I'm holding
You can't keep a good man down, but a good man got to recognize that he good in the first place. They got to recognize the value in you before you expect anybody to recognize you value or to give you any value. Right? Keep that in mind. You have to recognize the value in you or the value in what you have before anybody else acknowledges that value. I was talking to a young lady the other day. She has some pleasant children. Marnally, she herself is pleasant. And she has these two boys, and just out of secondary school and son. I saw the little one the other day. I asked her, I said, why am I turning Rasta? He said, no, I said, so why you walking around with your head like that? All the hair on your head and there. Crazy, crazy. Right? He says, lose of me, I got plaited back or something like that. I said, pardon. What you portray or what you project is what people going to see you as. They got your hair scanty on your head, a little rubber dinky on your foot, and you're walking and tossing your body like a real scrape. I mean, I didn't tell you that, but now that I'm talking, I'm picturing this scrape as a definition. You give the people the impression you're a thug, you're a junkie, you're a scrapehead, you're nothing, you're anybody, anyhow. When you give them the impression, that is how they will treat you. So you're projecting this value, as people say, you're dressing for success. Is it the child's failure? Is it the parents' failure? Is it the home's failure? Is it the society's failure? If you live in your house, you can't walk on, so. I hope this is a call for the program.
Okay.
Good morning, how may I help you?
Yeah, Orville. Yeah. All right, no problem. All right. Good time.
Yeah, as I was saying. If you live in my house, you can't walk anyhow. Ask, ask my children, ask my family members. I just tell them, y'all left it to me. Let me walk anyhow. Let me carry myself anyhow. But as long as I live in this house, are you representing me so you walk proper on the road? Yes, eh? So as adults, as parents, as caregivers, we got culture them. So I'm talking to the mother, she said, boy, you know, Mr. I'm talking to this boy, and it's always, when I send them to the barber shop, all they're doing is line up the same question as they got on there. I said, well, I tell you some good old time parenting. My parent, my mother in particular, because me know nothing but going with daddy. I mean, I think you all should know by now. Me go with my mother. So that's why when you hear I tell you all the hall and ball what single parent and single parent and single parent, there are many of us who go in single parent home and we didn't turn out to be stupidness. And my mothers didn't make themselves stupidness. That's an aside. You guys see value in seven, place value on you. I say, when my mother tell you 2-3 times, buy gun, cut your hair, buy your brother, cut your hair, and buy this, and you will make an effort, she pick up this order, she make chung, chung, chung. How many y'all know about the treatment? How many of y'all know about the treatment? They did some good patches in your head. So you want to walk around those patches, you're going to get it cut. You're going to get it cut. And so, if you grow your children to respect you as parent, I mean, that expose your envelope. And you rest assured, you know your heart that they can't raise their hand back at you, you're talking to them or cutting the hair and then going, give them a couple patch in there. They're going to cry tears, but they're going to go cut their hair. Right? So we have to teach our children, talk to our children, set examples for our children. I see it, Denise. You can't say do as I do and not as I say. You know what? I've been doing long enough for them to recognize what to do. They got time when they got to do me. I tell you, all of the youngsters, when I started taking care of my own clothing for school at age 14. Because them time though we were using flat iron, stove iron. And my mother is getting big and she getting impatient too. And so one day or 2 days, I go to school and people pointing out black pot for me clothes. I got into Richard Ishmael and I traveled from Buxton for go to Richard Ishmael. Right? And this black pot and I talk and she said, well, but if I can't do it properly, do it yourself. And I started doing that for myself from 14. And every time I step out, we had a neighbor, Gwenny Rogers, God rest her soul. Where Gwenny Rogers live, once I come out to go to school, Gwenny Rogers could see me. Hey, Kidaki, boy, look how you shot white like a milk. Are you seeing for cut breeze? Right? Don't make a want to do it more bad. So every time I go down the road, somebody used to compliment me how sharp I look. And I want to do it more bad. I did courting. I take woman. And I still used to tell you, I'm going to do it myself. Because nobody can do it like me for me. So yeah, I set the example for them. I set a lot of example for them. So when I reach this golden age and I decide, listen, I mean with all this formality, no more thing, and I say, I love me want to wear TLB t-shirts when they roll down. Right? But all I'm saying is we have to guide our children. We got to provide that grounding for them. We want to build walls. We want to build wedges. You have to find a way to be able to communicate, to get a message over. But you ain't going to be bending backward and, as I want to say here, be your child's friend so they could talk to you and do anything and you ain't got no recourse. No. Right. One of the things, the other things I find important as a parent, and I'm encouraging others to do, is networking, encouraging our children to network, our family members to network. Let them understand the importance of networking. We got children, we got children growing up. Now, I know about Sunday school. I mean, I know somebody gonna jump up and cuss me and talk about black people in the church mentality. They know about Sunday school. They know about converts class. They know about a cricket club. They know about a wranglers club. They know about sports club. They know about athletics. They know about Bible club. They ain't know anything. They have not been associated with any organization in their life. The only thing they know is home and what they see in the wider society. They have not been exposed to anything of structure apart from the home. And if the home is in a dysfunctional state, is all they know. Organization. Encouraging our children to join organization, joining clubs is important because they get to interact with others. They get to see that there are different perspectives in life. They get to learn different rules, different mores and norms, or mores and norms of the society. And most importantly for me, they get to establish connections in terms of friendships for networking. So you have a good relationship, a good friendship, a good understanding with several people in the club. You all become buddy. An opportunity arises. I'll tell you all the story just now. John hears about this opportunity, and John thinks about you. He called, hey, Kiraki. Them I want customer service reps at Qualphone. Where we go? Yeah, man, we could go. Let me call John. We could go. Let me call Harry. We could go. And next thing you know, 5 years from the same circle, 6 years from the same circle, got into the same place looking for opportunity. You're empowering each other because you have linkages, you have a network. I give you all an example of how that worked for me. When I decided, when I was finished secondary school and so on, I saw an advertisement. Can't remember what my age then, but I was still a young man, teen still. The Ghana Defense Force was recruiting for its Standard Officer course, SOC. I think this is Standard Officer course. No, it's cadet course, cadet officers. We had our crew. And once the advertisement was seen, immediately other people were told, hey, the Army are advertising for cadets. Army advertising for cadets. And I remember I applied. Sinclair McPherson, Kweku as we call him, applied. I think Dion Abrams had applied. I remember at least those of us. I can't remember who else had applied. But we went, we did our interviews, so on and so forth. You had a physical training weekend and so on when we had to go to Takama. Was it Takama? Or Seweo on the highway. And so when we turned up as a set of Buxtonians, all of us knew each other. Because we're from the same circle. We did networking. We tell each other and everybody apply and all we got there. The first challenge when we got dropped off at the head of Seweo is to run from the head of Seweo into the campsite. And I got with a big bag, you know. I know what going on. I got with a big bag, and sometimes I ain't doing too good to my boot real big and so. And we got in and thing. And I remember Sinclair McPherson Kweku saw me like I was faltering with the bag and thing. And he said, hey, partner, let me help you with the bag there. Because he was young and he was fitter. And Kweku took my bag. And then sure, I made it into the campsite. I mean, now I talking the story, now I remember it as it occurred. What is the importance of networking? And you can't get people like somebody say 1,000 followers and TikTokers and so on. Some people see that as network. Yeah, you can network through TikTok, but it is not as effective as networking because you know people on a face-to-face personal basis. Because when you interact, social media got different faces, quite frankly. Somebody telling me they saw somebody the other day and they look way worse than they look good on social media. So there's it. Social media got filters. But when you interact on a interpersonal basis, face-to-face basis, you get to know people better because you get to read their emotions and their expressions and their body language and everything, and you can assess from that. But that networking is important. And it is mostly possible if we are members of organizations and clubs, wherever you want to call them, where people congregate and have conversations and chat courses. I say I'm going to tell you something just now. Through the Black Economic Empowerment Society and so on and so forth, someone reached out to me and said, hey, do you know that XYZ happens in thing around such and such time? I said, no, I didn't know. And I'm happy you tell me. I would like to see how many persons I can get to benefit from this opportunity and so on and so forth. So through my network, I got word that XYZ is possible. And I pursued that. And I got information, well, listen, this is going to happen for you. Or this is going to happen for your people then. I called my daughter. In fact, I sent her the information. She called me, Daddy, what is this for? I said, this is XYZ. The first thing you need is the resistance. But Daddy, you know, I got usual thing. I say, usual is not the only facet of life. An opportunity like this exposes you to training. It gives you the opportunity to network and so on and so forth. And I explain the importance of doing it. Hi, Daddy. There's only one person I want. Why are you asking me if it's only one person I want? Because I want to tell Tom, Dick, Harry, and John. Because I want to tell Tom, Dick, Harry, and John because I now see the benefit of this thing, and I know my friends Tom, Dick, Harry, and John could benefit from it too. That is what organizing, being an organization and networking and so on does. And we have to encourage our children to be part of organizations. We ourselves as individuals, even as adults, have to be an organization. No man is an island. We can't live in a bubble. And all we there is from the roadside, we there looking in and criticizing when we could go inside and help to light a candle to get rid of the darkness. And so I'm sure at the end of that process, we will have in this community another 4 or 5 or 6 youngsters who have added to their skill set because they benefited from this network. And they can pay it forward. But many of us who, me not want me picnic go with them, me not want me picnic among them, me not want me picnic land on but Africa, I will be them I do. I'm drum and singing and think that will be. Me not want me picnic land nothing, me not want me picnic go there. Let me picnic go at church alone. And in church, me not want me picnic go. Let me picnic still me and play Nintendo 24/7 screen time. And then you develop a functional illiterate. Functional illiterate. They might get 23 subjects and so, but they can't function. Because they have not developed the social aspect of the being. My son, that's his mother. She joined in scout. I was a scout, you know. I was a scout. Scout I started as scout, and then I become scout, and then I became scout leader. And Mrs. Amsterdam ensured, through the encouragement of Mrs. Jenny Day, God rest her soul, my son joined St. Gabriel's. That is where he went to. Cobb, and then he became scout, and then he became leader, and so on. And I know we didn't know. Right? And in the same light, my daughter became a member of the, what do you call them? Girls Guides. Through Girls Guides, my daughter went to Trinidad. Through Scout, my son went there. Can't remember. Dominica or somewhere. Right? Let your children join organizations. They will get opportunities to network. They will get to see different aspects of life and living. I woke up this morning because I like I said, I usually wait for my direction. And since I get up off my bed, I say, morning, people over at Buxton Secondary. I ain't picking a fight with y'all, but I want y'all got Bible club over there. Y'all got debating club over there. What club y'all got over there for them children? It's what came to my mind this morning. I mean, you hear of so much misbehavior in our schools, in particular talking Buxton Secondary now, by the children. You see it on the road, you see it when you visit the environment, and a lot of the children misbehaving and things. The other day, I had the fortune or misfortune of hearing one of them cussing in here. Shut up, teacher, you know, I know the teacher in here yet. Call them mute and hold. You like do your own thing. Anyways, right? So I woke up asking myself, what can help these children to become more disciplined and achieve more success in the students of Buxton Secondary? And so the question asks, what clubs do they have at the school? Because I remember we used to have clubs at Richard Ishmael and so on, St. George's and so. They had clubs there. And I was dying to join the debate club at Richard Ishmael and never get through. And it's too young. It's them upper school people used to be in the debate clubs and stuff. Right? We need to, as educators now, not only be transactional, but transformational. We need to establish in our learning facilities these little clubs that will help give children some guidance. I remember every Wednesday at Richard Ishmael is Bible club. During lunch hour, we get Bible club. Everybody, or all those who want to, you know, be seen as good children, you go on Bible club and you're singing and you're enjoying and things. I learned about electronics because I was a man who used to set up the PA system at Richard Ishmael. Thanks to the physics teacher. I don't remember his name now. Tall, red-skinned Portuguese-ish Indian guy. He had some these holes on his face, whatever the cars and so on. I remember him visually, but I can't remember his name. But he used to teach us physics. And he introduced me to that PA system. And I used to set it up. And maybe that is where I developed my love for electronics and so. We got to do these things in our education centers. We could change hearts and minds and lives by these little steps. Caller, you on.
Morning, good morning, viewers. You touch on something which is very important. You touch on dressing. What dressing do to you? Presenting yourself properly drives confidence. It builds your confidence. I'm gonna tell you experience with me. The owner of the business in Bahamas that I worked for, right, never dressed properly. I always dress, for work. Um, and you find customers, high level customers, everybody started coming to the business and approaching me first as though I am the boss, I am the owner. And I used to gotta stop them and say, no, that's man. It became so bad that people started stop talking to him because, they come to me first. And that put me in problems. The last year that I spent in my work permit would not have been renewed because he claimed that everyone, I'm taking over his business, that his customers rather to talk to me, etc. And I was like, Mister, let me tell you something. Presentation is important. That's all I left him with. That's all I left him with. That builds confidence in people. And after that, you as a business owner, or you as a hustler or something, where if you got a little thing on the side, right, you got to learn to approach people. And once you have that confidence, you will be able to approach people and you will sell yourself. You will tell them a story. Let's not, social media is good, perfect. It's good to reach your new customers, but always remember when you're on the ground, you see an opportunity, you approach right away. If you making something that is pertaining to food, you pass your restaurant, you sit down, you eat, you say, here, man, what about sampling my thing? What about sampling this? What about sampling that? You're a carpenter, you pass, you see a deficiency in somebody's place, you say, what about me coming and do this for you? Those are the things that you use to sell yourself because in person selling, it's still alive and well. That has pushed me through a far way. So for people to remember, dress right, be confident, always tell a story when you're selling. Whenever we born, as soon as we born, we selling a story because we always want to look good. We always want to be dominating in some. It's a story we tell as soon as we born. So in business, you got to continue telling stories. This is my product, what it does, how it's important for you, etc., etc., etc. So it's important again, as you said, about dressing. Yes. So that's all I have to say this morning.
Thank you for your call. I tell you something. I was no swagger boy, and I still don't consider myself a swagger boy. But the way I used to dress, people started calling me, and these are people that don't know me. Caller, mute and hold the line for a minute. I was addressed in the society as pastor. By then, I am a young adult in my 20s, maybe mid and so. But the way I used to dress, I was always in a long sleeve short, but not. That's when I used to wear white people clothes, as I like to say, and things. And people used to call me pastor, and I used to tell my friends, you see how a lot of people get scammed in society? Just because I dress a certain way and people see me dressed a certain way, I present myself a certain way, and I am well spoken and all of that. His brother is pastor. His brother is pastor. His brother is pastor. So a lot of people gonna get scammed the way I used to dress. Right? But like I say, for quite a long time I stopped dressing in the white people with long sleeve white shirt and socks and boots and all kind of thing. I doing me. Right? I identify with my African self. Not to say my African self being elegant. Right? But they don't call me pastor now. They might most call me brother Amsterdam and so on and so. Call you on. You kettle whistling your boy.
Yes, good morning to you. Yeah, making some achievement.
I didn't just want to ask you to do that you get in your kitchen.
No. Flats Garden get old now, boy. Flats Garden get old now. Yes, good morning to you and all my black brothers and sisters in Guyana. I love to use the word black because I'm proud to be black. And I thank God that, as Anil said, we must be proud to be enslaved. But I am proud that our ancestor who was enslaved did not make us to live in a slavery country and to become slaves. So I love to use the word black to my black brothers and sisters. I just feel more healthy and more strong when I use the word black. I want, first of all, I am responsible for what I say, but not how you interpret it. I want to call that brother from the land still. Come in front Flash Garden class this morning. I listen to you. And I love to listen to people with those mentality words, powerful words. What was the word, Flash Garden? He said, we are only down here that we will make sure no Chinese in come and open no business around the neighborhood. Because what's going to left for us? Zero in our own country, where our ancestors died and live for us. Yes, my black brother, I love those words. It is time for black people represent the word green in Guyana. Stop represent the word brown and dry. You will end up with zero. What the Lord said about green, for God so loved the world. Excuse me, Lord of mercy. David said, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lay down or lie down in green pastures, not dry pastures. It is time for us to represent the word green and don't represent the words bear your chafe. It's too long, black people bearing them chafe. It is time for return on next page and said, yes, I can't. Yes, I can't. I'm encouraging my black brother and sister, you got to go outside on the street and demonstrate greenness. Them call it demonstrate greenness 2020 when they're black. That street, that road, that main road, business road, had better off for hours and they put fire and smoke up in the air. That is the kind of fire and smoke Flash Garden talk about every day. There was green, there wasn't brown, there was not represented by them chief. That mean black man must not rule us. And we must mean that Collie must not rule us. Chief Justice Chaplain 2020 election, what good for the goose is good for the gander. Chief Justice tell that brother lawyer, Mr. Boston, oh Mr. Boston, if it was the other way around, he said, stop that nonsense to me. I am here to represent my client. You got to ask. You got to tell that nonsense to them, to the government lawyer. That man stand up to all. It is time for me to stand up to the government in Guyana. Be green. The police was so green. They beat police, run police with quarters and gun and that kind of thing. Because there was green, there wasn't brown, there wasn't dry. There was green when them government kill our black little brothers and sisters going off from school. There was green. It's time for black man to be green. My message this morning is stop being dry. When you're being dry, you end up with zero. We got to be green. Enough is enough. We got to be like a woman with a history of blood. She said, this day I'm going to get my healing. I spent all what I had. She stayed home and said, oh Lord, I'm going through. I'm being safe. She pushed away. She said, I don't care who mash me, who squeeze me. I don't care who I squeeze. I only want to touch the M. It is time for black man touch the road, touch the street, and get victory. Before I go, black people don't know the food, our dish, what we love so much, what we just cooked when the day come. That food cook up rice. They don't know that food signifies a message to black people. Cook up rice. It represents love, unity, and support. And how the hell we still be at the bottom of the ladder when we find time and prepare that dish. We should never be at the bottom of the ladder because we eat a cocoa rice. I told you before I called you, I said that African brother where you invite one day and he eat that cook-up rice. He enjoy it. How Flash Garden know that he enjoy it? Is when a wicked could allow him to leave the country and then invite him to come back for prepare curry A, curry B, curry C. And when he come, he was looking and looking and looking. The man with the 19 child said, hey man, eat. We got curry, all kind of curry beef, liver, everything. He said, no. He said, something is missing. The man with 19 child said, what miss man, everything? He said, the cook-up rice. That is why he turned back and come back to Guyana because of the cook-up rice. Black man should not be punished in Guyana because of the cook-up rice what you all eat. It demonstrates something there. Thank you very much for your time. Pardon me, I'll let you know. Pardon me, I'll let you know. But don't worry. I got you covered.
One of these days we can get it right.
Gonna pack my clothes and walk out of the door. And on that day, when I up and leave you, you can bet your life that I won't be back no more. Sing the song.
Went to church in the West Bank. And when I got over the junction of Freedom on the West Bank, all these sellers were selling along the roadway. If you see the amount of garbage piled up in bags, some of the bags rotten out, the residual things that were not being sold because they're calling these big prices and things from Guyana. Imagine pepper is being sold at $1,800 a pound. And these things cannot be sold at these exorbitant prices. They would dump it along the roadways. Now they even come to Denamsol, who got them little roadside places, and break it down. And in the same location, Denamsol is Hague, Fellowship, Denamsol, Blankenberg local authority. That is our local authority. And in Blankenberg, on the highway, the public road, there is a big 4-story building that was being built only it didn't properly finish. And the steps that building is on the government parapet. So you understand, you go from the step there on the parapet, the doors open on the parapet, and if this regime has started to remove these little businesses from off the road, I think these big, tremendous buildings that are now being built with the front columns on the roadway, those buildings should be removed. There is another such building that is it is in construction now at a place called La Genesee that is east of Blankenberg. That is another 4 to 5-story building that is on the road. And if this installed regime is going around and removing these little places off the road, I believe that they must not only remove the little places, they must remove the big places. And when it comes to the tiny taking over Guyana, that is what Sioux did. And this installed regime, a lot of them would run and vote and say that 5 more years from them and all kind of thing. I don't say. that African people ain't got business. African people got business, and we now being put out of our little businesses. But they are the ones who went to the banks and took millions and billions to have businesses erected. And around every business, I know of a business in Port John. This was a business, they're doing big business. And around the man business, there are 3 Chinese shops in close proximity. 1 to the west and 2 to the northeast of this big business. So you understand what's going on. For as a matter of fact. And this is what the installed regime is doing to our people. They don't mind bringing people to do our jobs. And then who they can't bring in? They bring in other people to take away the livelihoods, not only of the Africans, but also the Indian people. So it's everybody suffering on the one accord with the installation, and they were there to jump up 5 more years. You know it's 5 more years. We ain't say we ain't gonna suffer, but they're gonna suffer more. And let me tell you, once you know how to cut and cut, you're gonna cut more into your belt. But we gotta make up in mind that they're gonna to do more things and dump more things. Because if you could plant an okra tree and it gives you 1 or 2 okra, so now you give it the okra, cut it and save it. Use okra, use what you can produce and left, I don't buy pumpkin and them things because it's pretty expensive. And I got a wonderful yard, you're planting the things and them ain't growing. So right now, but I make up my mind, I get in okra, and right now I eating okra non-stop. I eating what I produce. And we have got to go back. When Bonham said, feed, clothes, and house yourself, we got to go back into producing things in pots so that we can have things and not be spending the little bit of money at these dear places. And let me tell you all who get the big set of loans, because the bank don't give Africans loan. We don't get loan. Because when we go, we can't get this and right, doing right. My church had a penny bank, and something happened, and for 3 years, the church cannot get to do penny banking because I use the bank at church and they go and pay it into the bank as freely know. Well, for 3 years, they cannot continue and give the church the go ahead. So the little bit of money that people in the church and other people used to come in and save, that is off. You know why? Because they realized that the penny bank from this church was a way that black people in the church would have had something at year end. So what you do, you disallow the penny bank. So you cannot, the black people can't get nothing. That is the mentality of these people. But we will find a way forward. We're going to find a way forward. But this is it. If we come in to dismantle the little shops along the roadway where people are making money, I hope they could dismantle those big buildings, but leave them. Couple center trucks, they settle them. Big on the parapet, and the building area within the local government, the local authority did not say to these people, you cannot put up this building so close to the roadway. But the same local authority, they see you doing a little business, they come in and break it down. I hope they're going to break down them big, tremendous buildings. Who door pulling on the public road? Bye-bye.
Special someone. I don't wanna
No, you don't have to wonder who is that special someone. Each and every one of you is special. You are all special to me. And so I'm reaching out to you, and I hope that this morning's program has been able to reach you, and you will take whatever nuggets you got from this program and try to reach someone else with it. It is now 4 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour. It's Wednesday, the 12th of November, and it's time for me to go. So have a pleasant rest of the day. Be good. If you can be good, be safe. Much love. Tough love is love too. Thursday night, karaoke tomorrow night. Come on down and show some support at Club Twilight. I need your numbers. Come on. Let's have a fun night tomorrow night.
That only wants to rock my soul. All I want to do is discover that one love that never grows old. I'm tired of being a playboy. I want to go away with my little black book. I know it's not too late to find somebody who likes to sew and cook. That's why I'm reaching out for someone. Reaching out for someone. I'm reaching out for someone. That special someone. Always been the life of the party. Lots of wine, women, and song. But suddenly I feel so downhearted. And for the first time I feel all alone. The wine don't taste too sweet now. All my women can go just to the moon. And I don't like the song I've been singing. Maybe true love can change that tune. That's why I'm reaching out for someone. Reaching out for that someone. I'm reaching out for someone. That special someone.